What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Huddle Week 15 picks. And watch out for baseball banter that is coming your way sometime this week. There's a lot of big trades and signings that went down that we need to discuss. Maybe we might try to do it tomorrow if Mike's not too busy. But as always, I'm joined by my brother from another mother, kid with the golden locks, Mikey Hewitt. What's going on, Mikey boy? Thanks for joining me again.
No problem, John. And yeah, John Lester. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, we got to do
And
baseball.
many other things.
Yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about tomorrow for banter. So let's get right into it for picks. The Thursday night game is Cardinals at Rams. Who you got?
You might call me crazy, but I think I'm going to take the Rams on this one. I mean, I like the way St. Louis has been playing. I mean, they've been playing great, and I know Arizona. Did Arizona win last week? I don't remember.
They did.
They did.
Yep.
But they beat Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
But they had to squeak it out. Yeah. I mean, it was a nice win. Kansas City's, they're a legitimate AFC team, but I'm still having a hard time buying into Stanton. And I like what the Rams can do. I think that they're going to give the Cardinals a fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win that one.
Don't even sit there and act like you're crazy because I'm taking the Rams right with you, and there's no reason to even think that you're crazy about it. Ever since they beat the Denver Broncos, they've been on a roll. That defense has been legit. Their offense has looked really good. And if I'm Sam Bradford, I'm scared. Sean Hill isn't their long-term option. No, not by any means. But their offense has been great. Tavon Austin had a nice kick return, too. I mean, Tavon Austin's been really, really good. I mean, their defense that was lackluster in the beginning has been absolutely outstanding. And, I mean, they're playing at home where they knocked off the Seahawks once already this season. So, I mean, and the Cardinals without Drew Stanton and whatnot. So, I like the Rams to take this one. At home, a good defense right now. There's no reason to sound like crazy. I'm agreeing with you. I'm taking the Rams to win that one. Steelers at Falcons. This is a hard one.
Yeah, Atlanta, they impressed me a little bit going to Lambeau and staying with the Packers in that game for most of the game. But, Pittsburgh had that impressive win against Cincinnati in Cincinnati, right? Am I right or am I thinking of Baltimore? I'm so lost right now.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. So, call me crazy. I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think they're going to take that division, and they're seeming to me to be a little more consistent than the New Orleans Saints, who can't win at home anymore. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh wins, but at the same time, Atlanta's home. I think they're going to give the Steelers a game, and they might win that one.
Well, I want to go with the Falcons because the Falcons were getting blown out by the Packers, and then all of a sudden Julio Jones came out of nowhere. But I heard Jones is actually hurt right now, and the Steelers have someone right now on their squad by the name of Le'Veon Bell, Michigan State player, Michigan State alum, who has a couple of 200 straight rushing yard games going right now. He's absolutely a monster. So Atlanta's rush defense allowed Eddie Lacy and James Starks a lot of yards. Eddie Lacy in his first 5 carries had 54 yards. Not to mention he had, I think, 3 touchdowns, a couple rushing and a receiving. So you got Le'Veon Bell, a guy who's hot, and the Steelers are feeding him the ball a lot. I'm sorry. They're going to win this game. So I'm going to take the Steelers over the Falcons. Redskins at your G-Men. Here's a shitty game.
Yeah, who cares? I'll take New York. I think Washington's a complete mess. New York's a mess too, but Washington, that whole place is dysfunctional. So I think the Giants will win that one.
I hope RG3 plays because Alfred Morris nearly cost me $600 this past week for my fantasy squad, which I'm going to tell you that when we get to the Packer game what happened. But the Giants are absolutely terrible, even though they did beat Tennessee, right?
They did.
Yeah. But the Redskins are worse, and that's hard to beat. I mean, that whole team, they don't know if they're getting rid of RG3, are they getting rid of Jay Gruden, who's going for who? They don't fucking know. So I'm just going to take the Giants because they're at home. This game sucks anyway, so it don't even matter. Dolphins at Patriots.
It's in New England. It's December. It's an easy one, New England.
Yep, in New England. Like you said, it's December. This is when the Patriots just start adding up a couple of pylon wins before they go on their playoff run. Raiders at Chiefs. Who knows about the Raiders, man? They just knocked.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
They haven't been playing that good, so.
They have been. I mean, that was an impressive win against the 49ers. I know San Francisco's had a tough time scoring points this year, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
The coach that's better than Mike McCarthy, who lost to a team that was, 1-11, so.
All right. I'm not going to just bank Jim Harbaugh's career based on one game against Oakland. That being said, it's a bad loss, but whatever. I mean,
I'm not going with the Raiders. I don't give a fuck who they beat. They could have beat the 85 Bears defense, and I'm still taking.
I'm taking Kansas City. I mean, they need to bounce back. They had a bad loss, obviously, like we just talked about against Arizona.
what that was.
Yeah, so Kansas City will win this game, or whoever I said.
All right, Texans at Colts.
Indianapolis. I think that's an Indy, and
Yep.
I need Andrew Luck to have a big game in fantasy this week, so I'll take the Colts.
Texans, man, you got to give them some credit. They've been sticking right in there. I mean, they've been some ups and downs and whatnot this year, but they've been a lot better than last year. I still feel really bad for Ryan Mallett, but I got to go with Andrew Luck. He had a nice comeback against the Browns, and even though I don't like ever dissing Andrew Luck. I don't, but I'm gonna agree with you, Mike. This week, you say never criticize him, but he was fucking terrible that first half. He was like 8 for 22.
There might be a God audience. There might be a God. Criticism of Andrew Luck. Oh, it's about time.
I told you, I'm not scared to bash him when he's playing bad, if he's causing the team to lose. But he had some big throws to T.Y. Hilton, and they ended up coming back. But Luck did.
And they got bailed out. They got bailed out because of a pass interference call. I mean, they very well should have lost that game to Cleveland.
But I'm going to take the Colts. So,
Me too.
Bengals and Browns. You take it. I got to.
Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel's getting the start. You know what? Screw it. I'm taking the Browns. They're at home. I think Money Manziel. Sorry, spoiler alert, audience. I think the Browns are going to take this game. Cincinnati just got embarrassed at home against the Steelers. They lost by 21 points. But the Browns are still. They're pretty much. I think they're realistically out of it. Mathematically, they're still in it. But I think Manziel is going to try and impress the crowd in Cleveland. It's a rivalry game, interstate game, interdivisional game. So I think the Browns are going to take this one.
I can finally bust it out, baby. It is now time for Johnny Football in Cleveland, and I will be watching this game. I love me some Johnny Manziel. I know people go, he's too short. He's not a pocket quarterback. His style of play doesn't translate in the NFL. Man, when he had that one series against the Bills, his first initial series, he showed off his arm strength. Mind you, his accuracy wasn't that great, and a couple of his balls should have been picked off. But he showed his arm strength. He showed his versatility, able to get away from the rush. He showed he has good vision downfield. He showed his legs. He's hard to bring down. This guy should have been started from day one. And last time that these two teams played, which was in Cincinnati, Cincinnati got shit-wrecked. Andy Dalton played the worst game statistically ever by a Bengals quarterback. It was a Thursday night football game, and that's when everyone was like, Brian Hoyer's the savior of the Cleveland Browns. Johnny Manziel's never going to get a start. Well, guess what? Money Manziel time in Cleveland. He's getting his start, and I'm going to be watching this game because I love watching Johnny Football play. I don't know how people don't like watching this guy play. He's so exciting. The plays he makes with his feet, his arms. I mean, he's a gunslinger. He kind of reminds me of like an early Brett Favre. I mean, mind you, Brett Favre has a bit more physical tools, better physical tools, but the way he scrambles, the way he forces the ball downfield, the arm strength, I love it. So I'm going to take Cleveland to beat the Bengals, sweep out in the season series. It's Money Manziel time in Cleveland, people, and I'm pumped for it. So, Jags at Ravens.
Baltimore.
Yeah, this is an easy one, Baltimore. Packers at Bills.
I think the Bills are going to have a game this weekend. And there's some weird feeling in me that really doesn't make any sense because you look at the matchup. I know it's in Buffalo, but the weather doesn't matter. I mean, they play in Lambeau Field, for Christ's sake. And Aaron Rodgers is just on an absolute tear right now. So is that whole Packers offense. The defense, I think the defense isn't that good, but their offense is legit. So I think the Packers will win this game, but I think it's going to be closer than many people would think.
Their defense has been playing better until last week. If you look at the first half, they were really, really good. But I think what happened was they got that 3-score lead, and then they took the foot off the gas pedal, and then Julio Jones fucking used like a Madden cheat code and became unstoppable to cover. So,
just quickly on that, that they maybe took the foot off the gas a little bit. Wouldn't coaching have something to do with that? Keeping the guys prepared for the full 60 minutes?
Or you mean Dom Capers, not Mike McCarthy?
I think your head coach should have a pretty good influence on your whole team. That's what I think. I don't think I'm going to start going after the coordinator. But I'm being a little facetious, John. Relax, it's just a joke. But
hey, Mike McCarthy just tied Vince Lombardi all time for wins for a Packers head coach, by the way. So there you go.
He's a good coach.
Here we go. So here's my story about my fantasy squad. Right, going into this week, I'm in the first round of the playoffs. Winner of the playoffs, the championship, gets $650, right? But winner of the second place gets $325. So I got to win this last week and this week to win at least $325. So I'm coming in. Alfred Morris fucks me. Phillip Rivers only has 11 points. Jamal Charles has a great week. Hoskins average. My defense gets me 7 points. Kelvin Benjamin gets 8 points right off the bat, and then Cam Newton does nothing after that. He takes the show, I should say, but he does nothing with Benjamin after that. So I'm coming in. I'm chasing 19. All I got left is Jordy Nelson. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. First half of the game, I mean, Nelson gets a couple of targets, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And he's got like 8 points coming into the second half. I'm scared. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know me, Mike. You've known me for a long time. You know how much I love my Packers. I want them to win. But I'm scared, man. Like, I need Nelson to get some catches. So Nelson gets that first touchdown. I'm like, yes. So I'm chasing 5. I'm sitting right here on the edge of my bed, and I see Rodgers come back. And he just chucks it up, hits Nelson, who, by the way, has the most touchdowns of all time for 40-plus yards or more at home in a single season. He's got 7 of them bad boys this season. Rodgers chucks it up, hits Jordy in stride on a dime, my man. He was still – that ball, he didn't even have to break stride on a dime. Walks right in for the 60-yard touchdown. That counted for 12 points. I end up winning by almost 10, and I needed 19. My boy Jordy gets 26. Man, after he caught that, I ran down my hallway, and I felt like I jumped, and I just glided like 40 feet. Like, I don't even remember. I was so pumped. So it was an amazing win. I keep going on my fantasy squad. Jordy Nelson bailed my ass out hugely because Nelson's had a couple of down weeks, but, I mean, he's faced some good cornerbacks the last 2 weeks. Man, for Christ's sake, he had to play Brandon Browner and Darrelle Revis in one game, even though he did get a TD off of Darrelle Revis. So you got to give him credit for that. He's legit. But it was a great game, and they went on. And the Packers are going to beat the Bills. I think the Bills are going to hold the Packers' run game in check a bit more. But watch for Devontae Adams, because I've noticed this with games where Packers play good defenses and they're trying to double up on Jordy. Look at that Patriots game. Look at Devontae Adams' game he had. He had over 100 yards. Almost, he didn't have a touchdown, but he had over 100 yards, and he really opened up the Packers' offense, and Randall Cobb was really good too. Jordy Nelson got shut down a little bit, but it is what it is. But the Packers are going to win this one, and they're going to beat the Bills at home. So, Bucks at Panthers. And mind you, Cam Newton's not starting this game. He's out for the rest of the season, I believe, because he got in that car accident.
Car accident, yeah, that's horrible news because, I mean, as ridiculous as it sounds, the Panthers still have a chance to win that division. Who's their backup quarterback? I don't even know.
Oh, fuck. I had it on my phone. I'm trying to think. He started the first game. Derek Anderson.
Derek Anderson, all right. He had some success many years ago with the Browns.
Browns great. Another all-time great Browns quarterback, right?
Yeah. I think the last time he was quarterback there, they won 10 games, though. But that's besides the point. I'm going to take the Panthers. I think the loss of Cam Newton sucks, but let's be honest here. Cam Newton wasn't having a great season as it was. The team has a lot of issues on the offensive line. There's no denying that. But the Buccaneers still suck. Both teams suck. The Panthers are at home. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs win, but I'll take the Panthers.
Yeah, the only game Derek Anderson started this year for the Panthers, which was in Week 1, the Panthers actually won it, and Kelvin Benjamin had a really good week. So I'm going to take the Panthers to win this one too, because the Bucs are terrible. All right, just say a team. Don't even explain the reason why. Jets or Titans.
Jets.
Jets. I'm going to agree. Fuck you, Mike. I'm going to go with the Titans. We're going to go opposite on this one. I'll go with the Titans, even though Zach Mettenberger's out for the rest of the season. What's his nuts? Jake Locker starting this game. Great game. Broncos at Chargers.
Not a great game. Broncos win big. The Chargers did not impress me. Again, I know that New England has a great defense, but that San Diego offense just looked like crap. They almost got bailed out with a couple bad penalties in that game. The Patriots won in the end. I think the Broncos haven't looked that great last couple of weeks. They've been dealing with some injuries both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Peyton Manning hasn't looked as sharp. He's been running his ball a lot more. Hopefully C.J. Anderson gets a couple more carries this week for my fantasy team. But I think the Broncos are going to win by 10 or more points. I don't think it'll be a good game.
Well, what's his nuts? Phillip Rivers only had one touchdown last week, and the Chargers actually got out to a quick start against the Patriots.
Yeah.
Their defense had a touchdown.
Fumble return, yeah.
Yeah. So you're like, oh, man, what's going on? Is it going to be 2 straight losses for Tom Brady and company? But nope. I'm just being selfish. I need Phillip Rivers to do extremely good this week because I can't have Jordy Nelson score me 26 every week to hope I win. But I got to go Broncos. I mean, Aqib Talib, DeMarcus Ware. I mean, that defense is so goddamn good right now. So I'm going to go with Peyton Manning. Hey, and the streak was snapped for Peyton Manning. He had the third longest games played with a touchdown pass, and it got snapped this week. So congrats. So that sucks. Especially for my fantasy team, because Emmanuel Sanders didn't get any goddamn touchdowns. Yeah, I finally don't have Julius Thomas to dick me over like he did the first 8 weeks of the season, and man, he doesn't throw any touchdown passes. Ugh. Vikings at Lions.
I gotta take Detroit. And this is we're getting towards the end of the season here, and the Lions are fighting for that wild card spot with Dallas and a couple other teams in
They're
the NFC.
sticking right along, man, with the Packers for that division.
Yeah, I don't think the Packers are gonna lose another game. So I'm gonna say
there's some kind of hot right now. Aaron Rodgers is the MVP of the league.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not even close. So I'm sorry, I don't think the Lions are a true contender for that division, even though it looks like they are.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying they're staying paid.
Yeah, they are.
Last season, they were collapsing, and the Packers won the division with 8 wins. They were 8-7-1. Yeah. So.
But no, I think the Lions will win this game over the Vikings.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the Vikings aren't that good. I mean, even though they're almost a 500 squad, they've got a couple of nice wins, but it is what it is. The Lions got a good defense. Calvin Johnson's had a couple of really nice weeks in a row. So I'm going to take the Lions at home, which pains me to do because I need them to start losing. I need to get these clinch wins closer because I don't want that game at Lambeau Field to mean anything at the last week of the season. So 49ers at Seahawks. This is a good game, even though the 49ers are kind of bleh.
Yeah, I thought the Thanksgiving game was going to live up to the hype. It really didn't. This one is in Seattle, so I give the 49ers almost no chance the way things have been going. I mean, all the turmoil in that locker room, Kaepernick, the way his attitude and the way he's played, it's not good. I think the Seahawks are going to win this one handedly.
So you're not going to see any of this stuff, him kissing his arms and crap like that?
No.
Yeah, I hate that shit. He's a douchebag. But I'm going Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are what, like 6-1, 7-1.
They're hot. I think they can knock off the Packers in the playoffs. I wouldn't say Packers Patriots is legit because I think the Seahawks can knock them out.
Whoopi Goldberg, your cornerback, had a couple of picks a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna take the Seahawks. Cowboys at Eagles.
What month is it, John?
It is December.
December. Let's see. We're talking about the Cowboys here, but what kind of Cowboys team is this? Is it the Cowboys the last couple of years? They finally got 9 wins. They're not at the 8-8 mark anymore. But it's in Philly. Philly beat them in Dallas a couple weeks ago.
Mark Sanchez quarterback. So
he is. So enough of the suspense. I'm taking the Cowboys. I know I jumped the gun a little bit there. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. I like DeMarco Murray. Tony Romo, I think, is due for a big game. There was a little bit of crap going on with Jason Witten and Dez Bryant. I like that Cowboys defense. I thought going into Chicago, I predicted them to lose. I thought that was a big test, and they scored a lot of points. The Bears have issues. Brandon Marshall got injured. He's out for the year. Jay Cutler didn't play that great in the first half, but the Cowboys showed me something in that win, and I think they're going to carry over and pick up a big W in Philadelphia.
Me too. I completely agree. This a good buddy of mine, he's an Eagles fan, tweeted me. He's like, "How about Mark Sanchez? He's proving some people wrong. He's going to turn some heads today." I'm like, no. So Philly gets the ball back after a nice fumble recovery. Sanchez chucks it down the field. Brutal pass.
Absolutely.
That's Mark Sanchez. That's why they're not going to win this game, because that's Mark Sanchez. I'm sorry. I know they beat the Cowboys' ass at Jerryland. That doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. The Cowboys are going to come to this game. I know their December record. They're going to come into this game, and they're going to take this one in Philly, and I'm saying by 2 scores. I don't think it's going to be that good of a game. I really do. I just don't trust Mark Sanchez. When I see stuff like that, where your defense bails you out, gives you the ball back, an opportunity, and you just lob it the fuck up there, and that's really Mark Sanchez been his entire career. I mean, there's no other reason why it leads me to think he's not going to do that kind of stuff again. I'm not taking anyone else but the Cowboys. Saints at Bears.
This is a tough one, man. I mean, the Saints are still fighting for their playoff lives. The Bears lost Marshall, so they're pretty much done at this stage. They've been done for a while, in my opinion. But it's in Chicago. So in Chicago, what do they have? At least 3 losses at home right now.
Yeah, I think they'll get like 2 wins at home all year.
Yeah, they've been brutal. The Saints, they had a big win in Pittsburgh. Not an easy place to play on the road. Could they beat the Steelers, or could they beat the Bears? I think they can, and I think they ultimately will. But again, this game is going to be dicey because you really don't know what you're going to get from either team.
The Bears suck. I'm sorry. They're terrible. Jay Cutler's god awful. That team is just not good. I'm sorry. I mean, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm pissed off that Jay Cutler's my quarterback for how many more years they signed his extension to. God awful. So I'm going to take the Saints to win this one. Not just because I hate the Bears, because I do hate the Bears. Believe me, I really, really do. But they're just not a good team. And especially losing Brandon Marshall, that's just a big blow. So, all right, you got anything to add?
Cheer up, Bears fans. You guys got freaking John Lester. I'm out.
Have a good one, guys. We'll be back tomorrow for baseball banter. So have a good one.